The only concern with tar sands seems to be how much oil we will be able to create from the mines. No one is concerned with the fact that this operation could impact his or her health or the health of his or her children. The mining from the tar sands increases polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon levels, as well as adding multiple carcinogens into the air we breathe. This causes an assortment of health problems. The tailing ponds are also full of toxic waste. These ponds are not a suitable place for the storing of the byproducts from the tar sands mining, and the water leaches into rivers and streams and affects the native populations of people and animals. The list is endless when it comes to negative effects caused by tar sands on animals. They have already lost 150,000 kilometers squared of habitat due to mining. Now migratory birds come back and land in the tailing pools and are trapped due to its thick, toxic consistency. These pools and habitat loss affect over 43 species of bird and a host of other animals. The water that leaks from these pools causes birth defects, tumors, and mutations in the animals that drink or use the water for natural life. As I have stated previously, the area being used for tar sands mining is approximately 150,000 kilometers squared, and is still growing. This is the size of the state of Florida and is going to continue to grow due to lack of regulations. Unfortunately, the harmful effects don't stop there. Due to the poor waste management of tar sands and the area being affected by them is actually 50 times larger than the actual mining site. The Canadian government has said that they plan to reclaim these lands and restore them. However, no other site has successfully completed this, and no maximum level of disturbance has been discussed, so they may continue to grow the mining site until this has been done.
The Alberta tar sands, also known as the oil sands, have a huge impact on the air as they emit large amounts of pollutants. The Alberta oil sands represents 9.3% of Canada's greenhouse gas emissions. That statistic is very alarming considering that Canada has around 9.9 million kilometers squared of land, and the tar sands' total extractable resources covers only 150,000 kilometers squared of land. That means that the tar sands only cover 1.4% of the country, yet they emit nearly 10% of the country's total greenhouse gas emissions. Keep in mind that of that 150,000 kilometers of land, only a small portion has been extracted and is currently responsible for the emitted greenhouse gases. Additionally, within the province of Alberta, the oil sands are responsible for 1/4 of Alberta's greenhouse gas emissions. Tar sands emissions are on the rise. This 2013 graph shows projections of Canada's top 10 subsectors with respect to greenhouse gas emissions. As you can see, the chart predicts that around the year 2017, our current year, emissions will surpass the top emission subsectors, passenger transport. The graph shows that the industry is on the rise and little is being done to reduce emissions. Despite the environmental impacts, the tar sands industry is on the rise. Tar sands companies plan to triple production by 2030. The result of this expansion would be extremely harmful to the environment, and it is believed that there would be a 230% rise in nitrogen oxides, 160% rise in sulfur dioxides, and 190% rise in particulate matter.
In Canada, under Alberta law, oil sand companies only have to replace mine bore wetlands with something called equivalent land capability. Equivalent land capability has no legal definition, so they can fill the hole in or plant trees on a hill and leave if they choose to do so. This leaves many lands uninhabitable. Unlike most developed countries, Canada, and more specifically Alberta, does not require mining companies to pay for the wetlands they destroy. They do this by contributing to a special bank that funds wetland restoration somewhere else in the world. Not on location, they are actually mining and destroying. This is done to avoid penalties and to save money for the companies. It is said that mining lands are reclaimable, but in reality, only 1 mile of 296 disturbed by tar or oil sands have been certified as reclaimed. How do we reduce the impact? Protect a certain portion of the land for mining. That way, wildlife to some extent will be protected. To protect water, implement a threshold on toxicity in the water and set a cap on the amount you can dispose of into the earth and ponds. This will keep surrounding bodies of water clean and suitable for wildlife to continue to use and hopefully thrive. As many animals are still living in close proximity to these lands and waters, including ducks and the endangered caribou in Canada. Set higher standards for the air pollution being released into the air. Use more facts and research to set the standards of what is allowable for pollution. Provide monitoring and more public information about how the environment is actually being impacted. Use non-government entities to remove bias in research.